what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, welcome everybody to Concord Motorsports Park. You're watching Evolution Racing Network, and this is the U.S. Legends Open Series. We want to welcome everybody here tonight. I am Ryan Ezel, and always by my side, my good friend David Edwards. David, how we doing?
Oh, doing great, Mike. Glad to be back home, just down the road. Should be a fun little race tonight on this little tricky triangle. Smaller than Pocono, but still just as tricky.
Boy, you ain't lying. We are just now finishing up and wrapping up the practice session here, so any second now you'll see these guys go straight into qualifying, which is going to be 5 minutes, the best of 2 laps they can do. Now, what's interesting about this track here tonight is, just like David said, it's like a baby Pocono. You got a lot of baking, and you really got 3 primary corners. Let's go take a look as we are getting these guys up, going for their qualifying day. Let's take an aerial view once these guys get going. Let's go take a look and take a little aerial view. As you can see, following the 75 of Michael Martino here. We'll throw up the qualifying grid here. And follow him as he goes through here from an aerial view. You'll kind of see there's 3 distinct corners as these guys are coming through, starting their qualifying. And there's a lot of baking. Let's take a look down from a lower perspective here, and you can see a lot of baking in these corners, which is going to make a very unique driving line. You can see the dark spots there in the track where a majority of the guys are going to be coming through. The biggest thing they're going to struggle with, especially coming out of turn 3, David, I think, is not allowing the car to wash up and hit that wall.
Yeah, that's, as you said before, three distinct corners, I believe 3 different levels of banking as well. I mean, and it's really flat on these short straightaways. It doesn't look like it, but, coming from bottom of the corner and then coming up, it really flattens out for these guys. And these cars are already light and twitchy as it is, so it's going to make it that much more difficult, on exit, getting the power down and not losing the rear end.
Yeah, as you see Harold Rothery right there in that green and black 4 car, struggling a little bit to keep that car under control. It is not going to be a fun night if you have not figured out the best driving line. And then another thing is, this track looks really wide, but it can be deceiving. There's really one distinct driving line that you want to get the most speed to carry through the track. And there's going to be a lot of times you're going to be side by side, David.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a rhythm track and a momentum track at that. With the sweeping corners, you want to go to the bottom, hit the yellow line, then drift up on exit and try to get that run and keep the momentum up. And if you're side by side, you can't get that. And so it's going to lead to some disadvantages, and if, allow some of the guys in the back to catch up if the guys in front of them start racing.
Yeah, it will. And, last week we watched the 68 of Andrew Little at our second road course. And these guys, they didn't have the luxury of cautions last week. And we had Ryan Bean, Andrew Little, these guys that were fighting up front, Nolan Potter, and we thought he was going to be a big factor. And lap one, they had a little dust up between the 28 of Ryan Bean and the 68 of Dick Little there. And it cost him. He had to go shuffle to the back, get some repairs. Ended up finishing pretty decent out front by the end of the race. But, man, was it a struggle for a lot of these guys. And our current point center, 8 races into this season. This is race number 9. Oh, hello. Looks like he just took a right turn straight into the wall. Looks like we might have had some mechanical failure there, David.
Yeah, my right front might have blew out on that one.
Well, these cars are really twitchy. A lot of power, not a lot of weight to put down, and it's going to be very, very difficult for these guys to be able to put the power down, keep it between the walls, and that's the thing right there. You see that long front stretch as it looks like everybody but one driver has taken time, so that is going to be pretty much the end. We're waiting on the 23 of Chad Biesinger to see if he will go out and take time, but these guys are going to have to get into that rhythm like you talked about. But our current pole sitter right now, Nolan Potter, with a 17.617. That is a blistering pace here.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, it looks like the top 3 or 4 within next top 5 are within 0.2 of each other. So, you know, with it being an open setup, you know, some of these guys might have the pace on the short run, and so some of them might have the pace in the long run here. So we'll have to wait and see as it plays out.
Yep. Well, let's grab our pole sitter because it looks like that's going to be it. Nolan Potter, let's bring him on down and see what he has to say. Nolan Potter, is Ryan and David in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Hey, buddy, I think David might have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Well, hey, Nolan, man, looks like you're going to come out and walk away here with the pole today or tonight for this race. So, kind of give us a little bit of insight here on the track today.
Actually in qualifying, it tightened up a little bit from what practice was going. But it should be a fun race. Yeah, it's you gotta make sure you hit your marks. If you hit your marks here, you're either up in the wall or you're gonna lose a lot of time. So, it should be a fun one.
So, predictions tonight, you going to start on pole and run away with this thing?
No, you gotta watch out. I think Harold's got some speed tonight. He actually beat me in practice, and then Ryan's always got speed, and Andrew's always sneaky. You know, he never practiced well, but he's always a gamer. So I think anyone's got a shot tonight, especially with the short track racing. So.
All right.
Well, man, we'll let you get to it and get back in there, get in the car, and get strapped in for tonight. And maybe we'll be talking to you. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you at the end of this thing.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Oh, good luck to Nolan Potter. This is going to be interesting, though. These guys, it could be anybody's race. This could be one of those races, though, David, that it's almost like a road course the way I'd look at it. If you keep your car clean and you just keep it on the track, keep it out of the walls, keep it from having troubles, you could actually make a huge jump in the points.
Oh, for sure. I mean, with the layout of this track and running some different other vehicles and other different classes on this track, I personally know how tricky this track is. So, yeah, I mean, if you can keep it in between the walls and no damage, you can come away pretty good tonight.
Well, let's go through your starting grid tonight. You just heard David speak with our pole sitter, the 34, Nolan Potter. Outside of him is going to be his teammate, Harold Watkins, in the 22. Ryan Bean will be starting inside row 2 in the 28, and Dick Little outside row 2 in the 68. And Harold Rother will be starting 5th, and outside him, Rusty Modesty in 6th.
7th's got the Kevin Dowd in the 98. Outside of him, starting 8th, Michael Martino in the 75. Rolling off the 9th is the 31 of Casey Kuntz, and bringing up the 10 on the field is the 23 of Chad Biesinger.
That's your starting grid tonight. As we talked about, we'll take a quick look at the race info. Concord Motorsports Park here, it's only 0.42 miles, so it's not even quite a mile as these guys are getting ready to go one to go. You know, pretty hot here, 81 degrees. A little bit of wind, but I don't think that'll be a factor here tonight. Track temp is going to be hot, 127 degrees. So this is going to be a fun one to watch, and they are racked and stacked side by side and ready to go as we have got our eyes on that front row. Here soon you'll see that iRacing.com pace car come out, and they are getting ready to go green.
Yeah, see the field stacking up here, coming out of 3, watching the flagman, waiting for the green flag, and there it is. And it looks like pretty good start. Looks like the bottom got rolling a little quicker than the top. They're getting off into 1.
That was a really good start by Nola Potter, but I'll tell you what, even better start than that was Ryan Bean was right on his bumper and did not allow him. Oh no, and our pole sitter, I don't know if there was contact there or not, but he just turned right and went right into the wall. Wow.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of weird there.
Let's see if we can go and watch this maybe from a different angle and find out exactly what took place here. See 34 right there up front. Ryan Bean right on his tail. Coming through this corner. Oh, he just gets a little loose. We have seen that all season long, David, where they just get the tiniest little bit loose and the car starts to slide and they try to overcorrect and it just sends the car into a completely different planet.
Yeah, it looks like he just tried to shortcut the corner there and get right on the bottom, and just a little too much wheel, a little too early on the cold tires, and just stepped out on him just enough, and just a little bit overcorrection, and just hooked her hard right in the wall.
Well, I'm not sure how much damage he has, if he's going to be able to get some repairs done and come back out on the track tonight. You guys will see that little ticker scrolling across the bottom of your screen, and that's the pit stop ticker from ERN. Anytime somebody scrolls into a pit road, you'll see it at the bottom of your screen and how long they are on pit road. So hopefully Nolan Potter will be able to get some repairs done. You see him still sitting there. That was a heck of an impact and a lot of rolls following it. And that brings out your first one already.
Yeah, hopefully it didn't. I mean, that's hard to say. That was a heavy impact, like you said. So it probably hurt the motor, hurt the suspension. So if he can get back out here, I don't know how competitive he's going to be tonight.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And tonight we will be doing some live interviews with some of the drivers during the cautions. And we'll have to wait and see how this race kind of plays out. You see the lights are out. They're going to go single file, it looks like. So, yeah, next time by, these guys come out of 3, they'll be going green.
Yeah, didn't complete a lap there. So, looks like Ryan's bringing way to the top to get turn that corner down and get a run. Wow, what a jump by Ryan Bean there.
Wow, he not only that, but like you said, he turned it, went way high and turned it down. The reason he did that, David, he's trying to get that car as straight as possible so when he does launch, the force of the car isn't at a turn and he doesn't have what we just saw take place to Nolan Potter and have the rear end of that car step out on him. But man, he is almost touching those yellow lines coming through the corner.
Yeah, I mean, that is the preferred line here at this track, is down on the bottom, just like I said, it's a rhythm track, a really big rhythm track. So if you can get in there, start hitting your marks, you can just start clicking laps off.
Yeah, and 125 laps here tonight at Concord Motorsports Park. That's going to fly by if we get caught on these long green flag runs here. You don't have a lot of cars on the track, but this is not going to be a race about you racing somebody else. It's going to be a race about you racing yourself. I mean, we see the 4-car there have a little bit of dust up. Let's see if we can't go take a quick look and see exactly what took place there as we are staying green. Keep your eyes on that black and green 4-car of Harold Rothery there coming through the corner. Same thing, just the rear comes out, but he does a great job of locking it down and keeping it off the walls, slamming the thing back into gear and going.
Yeah, hell of a drive there by Harold. And while we were looking at the replay, I believe 31 of Casey Kuntz got around the 68 of Andrew Little for the 4th.
Sure did. Kevin Dowd's hot on the rear bumper of Dick Little there in the 68, but Casey Kuntz is making his march to the front. Got him scored in 4th position right now, and he's chopping off a little bit of that time. Ahead of him is the 6 of Rusty Modesty, so we'll have to see if he catches up to it. David, what is tires going to mean tonight?
125 laps. They may come into play towards the back half of this, depending on how long the green flags are. Once you build the heat up, it's It depends. I mean, it being such a short track, the turns aren't crazy. You've got the banking to help. It's not the flat tracks like we're normally running in these cars, and just it's pure mechanical grip. You've got the banking to help you out, so it probably won't be as big of an issue as it has been before in the season. But I mean, anywhere you go, tires are going to play somewhat of an issue.
Right, and you see that black and green 4 car right behind Kevin Dowd, which means he didn't lose a whole lot of time. He lost a lot of the track position they had up front, but he didn't go a lap down, and that's something that's very unique here. You get into trouble under green flag, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to go a lap down because you're running 17, 18-second lap times on average. So that's a great job for him to get it recollected, get it back up, and start hitting his marks. These guys got a nice little 3-car battle going right here for 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he didn't hurt nothing too bad because he's back putting pressure on the back bumper of Kevin Dowd. As we rolled around, there was Michael Martino taking it pit side. I wonder if he had an incident.
Yeah, I do see something. Let's go back to the ERN replay booth, see if we can find out there, and we'll come right back. That black and blue 75 car there. It looks like he just gets a little too hot on corner exit, makes a little contact with the wall, quickly gathers it up and gets going on pit road. We see right there while we're watching the replay, the 4-car of Harold Rothery made his way around the 98 of Kevin Dowd there and has got his eyes set on 68 of Dick Little, and he is making a march to the front.
Yeah, I think Kevin did the smart thing there and let Harold waved him by, put the hand out the window and said, "Come on, man, I know you're faster than me. You got a lot more pace than I want to run right now, so go ahead and take it."
Absolutely. And you see Mike Martino in the 75. You can see at the bottom of your screen there, he is still sitting in the pits, getting some repairs done. I know he did take 4 tires. Harold Rothery getting a little loose there. You saw it coming down that last straightaway. And this is a momentum track. You've mentioned it over and over, David, that if you mess up one corner, this is just like Pocono. It's just a very much smaller scale that you make a mistake on one corner, it can take almost a whole lap to get back up to the same pace you were running. You lose a lot of momentum making a mistake.
Oh, yeah, if you blow one corner here, as we're watching, Harold lay it out there sideways. Yeah, I mean, if you miss one corner, might as well throw that lap away. You're not getting it back. It's going to take you the following 2 or 3 corners to get it all gathered back together and back up to speed. And, maybe Harold there is flat spot of those tires, got a little bit of extra wear on them, got them a little hotter than what he wants, and not providing as much traction as he would like.
I was just about to bring that up. You read my mind. When these cars do lock up the brakes and start, going into a flat spin, they do a great job by keeping it off the wall, but it also flat spots the tires, which can lead to a massive loss of grip. And not only that, it can lead to a lot of heat in the tires, as you just mentioned, which makes it more difficult to get that grip. And this is a track with all that banking in the corners that you need all the grip you can get. Oh, we are under caution again. It looks like we may have Mike Martino in the 75 had just come out of pit road. I'm looking at something here. Okay, there's Ryan Bean. Let's go take a look and see if we can figure out exactly what happened. Keep your eyes on that blue and black 75. It allows Harold Rothery to go by. Looks like he's coming back into the pits. Comes to a stop on the track. That was an odd instance. Coming to pit road, literally 20, 30 feet from pit road, and stops and takes a tow. You see a leader right there. I'm going to go back and look at something else because I'm getting word from our producers here. There may have been something with Ryan Bean. As the caution was coming out, keep your eyes on him. You see Mike Martino there. Caution comes out. Ryan Bean lets off the throttle. Oh. Looks like he may have had a little bit of connection issue, and cameras are picking that up as an issue. But see him come back out of pit road. But we have a few drivers that didn't decide to go in the pits for tires, starting with the 6 of Rusty Modesty and the 2 behind him there, David?
Yeah, it looks like Casey Kuntz and Kevin Dowd decided to stay out, and it's going to put Ryan starting fourth with new tires. And, I don't think there's a fuel issue tonight, but, maybe they know something I don't as far as the tires go, as far as the tire sequence goes off, because, Ryan was quick to dive down there and get some tires.
Yes, he was, and we talked about it right before that caution came out. Grip, 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 grip. We're going to see if the lights are going out, and they are not. So let's see if we can grab Ryan Bean real quick and have a quick word with him. Hey, Ryan, this is Ryan and David up at the RN booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's up, guys?
Hey, brother, I know we're getting ready to come to one to go. I just wanted to know what's that strategy coming down the pit road?
Oh man, we're eating up tires like crazy, and we got unlimited sets, so I just figured, if you got them, take them, and I wanted to change the pressures on the right sides a little bit.
Well, the good thing is you only had 3 guys stay out, so you ain't got a whole lot of traffic to get through. So good luck tonight, brother, and I hope we're talking to you at the end of this thing.
Yes, sir. Later, guys.
All right. That's your first driver in the field with fresh tires. So that could be interesting, David.
Yeah, don't listen to the announcer. He don't know what the hell he's talking about up here with tires. So,
That's
as you know, with it, but temperatures being through the roof, I think you said the temperatures on the track were 120.
Yeah.
Obviously they're eating them up as we're racked up going back green here.
Yep. Let's keep an eye. They are double foul once again. Rusty Modesty. Oh, wow. It's a great launch right there, David.
Yeah, I think he called
Yeah.
Casey sleeping on that one.
Yeah, he did, because that allowed Ryan Bean to quickly get underneath him and get a run right there on the inside of Kevin Dowd as well, and he is marching to the front. David, I don't think Larry McReynolds has anything on you, brother.
Oh, no, I'm talking about. Looks like we're 3 wide going off into 1 here.
No.
Middle in the field, looks for 3rd.
That's right. That's a heck of a battle right there, side by side. You got the Harold Rothery in the 4 car, the 22, Harold Watkins, Kevin Dowd, and Casey Kuntz making it a battle, but right back up front, you got Ryan Bean says, "Excuse me, boys, I got some fresh feel goods. I'm going to the front. Catch me if you can."
Yeah, I mean, everybody, Rusty in the 31 and Rusty in the 6, Casey in the 31, and I believe it was Kevin Dowd in 98. They're just getting eaten alive here with these new tires.
Yeah, they are, because Harold Watkins in the 22 right there has already made his way up to 3rd position, and Harold Rothery up to 5th. So you've got pretty much new tires, old tires, new tires, old tires, new tires in the first 5 positions there. But it ain't going to be long. Harold Watkins going to be getting underneath the 6 of Rusty Modesty, and Harold Rothery looks like he's about to follow him through, where the top 3 will be fresh tire guys here before too long.
Yeah, and Ryan, like I said, Ryan made quick work. He got a 2 for 1 there in the first 2 corners. And then just, a lap later was underneath Rusty. He's just gone.
Yeah, and he's checking out big time. He's already got, looks like a almost 2 second gap on the rest of the field. But there is a plethora of battles going on back here from 3rd, 4th spot right there and on. These guys Rusty's doing everything he can to maintain that position and not lose too much ground on these guys. But hey, it is so difficult to be sitting up here in the booth and calling this race, and saying shoulda, woulda, coulda. But only these guys down here know exactly what they're doing. We'll take a quick look and see if the track temps have changed any. Yeah, 127 degree track temp. That asphalt is hot, David.
It looks like we got Casey and Andrew getting together on the front stretch here. Looks like they were battling for 5th. Ooh. And looks like Casey's rolling away. Andrew was able to go.
Let's go take a quick look at that there. Keep your eyes on that baby blue 68 right there. Him and the 31. Now keep in mind, 68's got fresh tires. And Casey just gets a little wide, makes a little right side contact, and the 68 is there. But I don't think that's too much damage where he won't be able to continue going like we saw Harold do.
Yeah, it should be fine. Looks like Casey got a little wide there, got up in the marbles, and just decided to come around on him on exit. And Andrew was there to catch him pretty much.
That's right. Let's go take a quick look at the Goodyear blimp cam, and I'll show you that what you see right there is Ryan Bean, and then directly ahead of him is the last car on the lead lap, and that is Casey Kuntz right there in the 7th position, and it doesn't look like he has the speed that Ryan Bean does. Kind of keep this camera and see how much ground Ryan Bean makes up on the straightaways here and also coming into the corners.
Yeah, you can see Ryan just, flowing, very flowing in his motion. No, erratic movements. It's all just, smooth input, smooth throttle, and just rolls right underneath Casey there.
Yep, and that exactly right there is where Casey had his incident coming out of 3, and we saw that with Mike Martino as well, and Harold Rothery trying to keep that from happening, and spun the car out there in that same spot. That turn 3 coming down to the straightaway is going to be that's going to be everybody's kryptonite tonight, I think.
Yeah, there's such a big change in banking there coming off of 3, coming down the straightaway, that the car gets so light in the rear end there that any twitch in the steering wheel, any little extra throttle input will cause it to step around real easy.
Yeah, and you see Andrew Little there made a little contact earlier, and he's missing a left front fender, but he's still able to get around the 98 of Kevin Dowd there fairly easy.
Yeah, I wonder if Kevin's car is not performing as well as he would hoped it would have been tonight, because he's let a couple guys go here when they get to him.
Well, let's keep this in mind too, that as you see right there, the 22 got around the 31 of Casey Kuntz to put him continue to put him further down the field to lap down. But this is an open setup lead, so what that means is these guys can set these cars up however they want. We've seen drivers accidentally put the wrong setup in the car, like we saw in the season opener with Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. had the wrong setup in the car and had to really fight that thing for that first 125 laps in the season opener. But tonight, these guys can set these cars up however they want. So air pressure, suspension adjustment, steering ratios, brakes, how much pressure you're applying to the front or the rear of the car. You really have to put a lot of time and a lot of practice into understanding what a car is going to do over the course of 125 laps.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke with Ryan there under that first caution when he mentioned he went in and took tires. He, radioed the crew chief, wanted different pressures on the right side. So that was half the reason for him coming down and taking tires on that last pit stop.
Yeah, and it certainly shows that was a very smart move. We've had, a few cautions at the beginning of the race, but we're under a pretty decent green flag run right now. We'll throw up a little chart on the right side here, folks. Kind of show you. Let's go to last pit stops. So on your bottom right of your screen there, you're going to see the drivers, and let's do their pit strategy. That'll show you right there. It shows you Rusty Modesty's been all 53 laps under the same set of tires, and your top 3 guys, Ryan Bean, Harold Watkins, and Harold Rothery, all pitted there about the exact same point they were when they pit last time. Looks like they pit with 26, 27 laps into the run, and we're about 26, 27 laps into this run. So they're about at the same point on their tires where they pit last time. Your first, second, third, and fifth, Dick Little, are all on the same pit strategy, with Rusty Modesty, Kevin Dow, Casey Kuntz all on the original tires. So that could be a determining factor tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, these guys tonight, sky's the limit on how many sets of tires you want to put on it. So I'm not too sure if the staying out call is the right one, because, what's the point of having them if you're going to have them at the end of the race?
That's right.
So, if they're there, use them.
You just need to, it's so hard to do under green flag conditions here, because it takes about 45 seconds, I'm told, to do a full 4-tire stop on these cars. It's not like a traditional stock car or NASCAR doing a 12, 14, 15-second stop. So you need to make sure you do it under caution conditions, as the 4 of Harold Rothery there is still challenging. I'll tell you, he's done a great job, as Rusty Modesty is still in 3rd place on original tires there, David.
Yeah, I mean, if there's something, if the caution was to come out now, obviously he's the big net gainer here, being able to hold on to. I think he restarted out front, but then to be able to hold on to third after this on this long run and having 58 laps old tires compared to guys that are essentially half of that is very impressive.
Yeah, it is. It really is, and it doesn't look like Harold Rothery is really making a lot of gain on him. He's holding his own. Oh, and we see Harold Rothery go around again and make contact with the 68 of Dick Little, which will bring out another caution. Let's go take a quick look and see exactly what happened here. Guys, we saw Harold spinning, coming out of the corner there, go a little wider, and Andrew Little coming in and just nowhere to go. And right behind him was the leader too. Wow.
Yeah, that all happened right in front of Ryan for sure. That was a little scary there, I would imagine.
You see some cars electing to take tires come in. I think everybody will come in right now. You got the leaders. And as they're under caution, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break and pay some bills, and we'll be right back with you.
Casey's calling me over. Says he
The story's on it. Who's
I
that?
have done. I got it. I got it. Oh my God, I'm back. Look at this bad boy.
All right, welcome back, folks, to Concord Motorsports Park as you're watching the U.S. Legend Series right here on Evolution Racing Network. And if you guys haven't already done so, if you like what you're seeing, you like the drivers, you like the broadcast, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hop in the chat and tell us what you think about the show, about the race. The good thing about what we just saw is you're going to see some guys electing, I think, to stay out and take the wave around. So you might have a few more cars on the lead lap. We'll have to wait and see how this thing plans out. I want to go and take a look from Andrew Little's perspective here, and I want to watch his cockpit cam. Let's go take a look at that last thing that brought out the caution here. We're on board with Andrew Little as he comes out of three, coming down straightaway. Oh, and you saw it and heard it with the throttle there. He was in, he was out. He was just trying to find a place to go that there wasn't a car there, David.
Yeah, he didn't. He wasn't sure where exactly Harold's car was going to end up, and he chose the wrong line as the iRacing Mustang takes a hard left turn there, and it looks like Ryan's going to lead him back to the green flag here.
Yep, you only got 4 drivers on the lead lap. One of them being Rusty Modesty, and this strategy right here, David, could play out beautifully for Rusty if he can make this work, because he got to go in, take tires, and now he's on the same cycle as the lead pack cars.
Exactly. We said it earlier. If the caution come out while he was running third, he was the biggest net gainer out of this, and the strategy call paid off, and it looks like it did.
Yeah, he is in a solid third place position. I know Andrew Little right now is begging for a caution to come out because if I'm not mistaken, Casey Kuntz is in the first car a lap down, and then Andrew Little. So it's whoever is the first car a lap down, which I'm showing Casey Kuntz in the 31 being scored right now is the first car a lap down. Whoever, if a caution were to come out, they would be able to get the wave around and get the lap back. So, we're lap 68 of 125. We just passed the halfway point this race. So I think we still have probably at least a caution or 2 more to come, David.
Yeah, I mean, with these guys, it's the race within the race, as you could say. Andrew knows he's got to get around Casey in order to even have a shot at getting back on the lead lap and even being competitive and having a shot at a podium finish tonight with the laps winding down.
Yeah, and as you see a battle of teammates up front, Ryan Bean and Harold Watkins here going to town on each other. Harold Watkins here is not letting Ryan Bean get too far away. Doing a good job, but I just wonder if he is either one of these guys are using up their tires a little too much, either trying to get away or get around the other. So have to wait, keep an eye on this little battle as it heats up. But you got 4 drivers on the lead lap right now, and then you got another little battle, as you said, a race within the race between Casey Kuntz right there in the 31 and Andrew Little right behind him. These 2 drivers are battling to be the first car lap down if a caution were to come out. But Andrew Little's got some heavy damage to that car. I'm just not sure it's handling the way he wants it to right now.
It may not, and I mean, we talked to Nolan, even though he's been pit side for a while. He mentioned that Ryan and even Harold had the pace tonight. So as we see, Harold's keeping the pressure on Ryan, and maybe he can force Ryan into a mistake, force Ryan to use his stuff up a little bit, and be able to sneak by him here.
Yeah, and I need to back up for a second. I said teammates, and I misspoke. Nolan Potter and Harold are teammates, and I know Nolan is in the pits right now, but he is cheering on his teammate Harold Watkins there in the 22, hoping that if he can't get up to a finish, that at least maybe his teammate can.
Yeah, I mean, Harold's keeping right there, keeping it right on the back bumper of Ryan, and looks like Ryan may have him through 1 and 2 here, but going into 3 and coming down the straightaways where Harold seems to make up a lot of his ground and able really to put a lot of pressure on Ryan.
Let's ride on board right there with Harold Watkins. Let's watch as he drives through. He makes up so much speed on corner entry there, but then Ryan Bean gets it on corner exit. And as short as this track is, the straightaways really aren't helpful to either one, but he gets so close to him in the corners and on the corners, so his braking point is a lot different, but he's also coming into the corners a lot lower than Ryan Bean is there.
Yeah, I mean, it's the old give and take method. You might give them up if you can save it on the run, get the run out of the turn. You'll give it up on entrance, but maybe Harold's using his stuff up a little too much, trying to get in a little too deep, and
he
might end up.
Yeah, he could be banking on a caution too, David.
Yeah, 100%. He's like, hey, why don't I get all the use out of these tires as I can early on, because maybe I get another caution and can go put another set on.
Yeah, with only 4 guys on the lead lap, one taking the wave around, having to start behind everybody. If you're banking, if your strategy is that another caution is coming at some point, get out there and get all the track position you can, because the worst spot you can start is 4th.
Exactly. I mean, maybe you get lucky, push those tires right to the edge and can get around him, and boom, now you're the leader on the next restart.
That's right. But what we've seen it all season long, Ryan Bean is no joke. This guy knows he is a wheelman. He knows how to get around all these tracks, and he's dominated not just some of the road courses and some of the oddity tracks. He has done really, really well at all the tracks, especially these short tracks that we have ran, where we do 125 laps. Every single one of them here, as you see the leader getting around Kevin Dowd there, which is 4th place. So now that's only 3 drivers on the lead lap.
Yeah, all the the race within the race now. Now it doesn't. Now Casey's the outside looking in.
Yep.
If a caution come out, and Kevin's going to be the one to take the lucky dog.
Let's go look at the Goodyear cam, and let's see where he is in relation to Rusty Modesty, which is 3rd place. We know that Ryan Bean and Harold Watkins, your 1st and 2nd place drivers, are right there, and Rusty is not too far behind them. So Kevin Dowden must have just had, his car does not look like it has the speed that he wants, especially as the run goes on there, David. It looks like he's losing more and more speed.
Yeah, he just looks like he's just fighting that car tonight. Just maybe missed the setup, and it's just coming. Sees he gets a little loose there off of 3. Yeah. Maybe just missed the setup just a little bit, and is just unhappy with the way the car's driving tonight.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, with 2 guys that are having no problem with speed tonight, and that's your top 2, Ryan Bean, right here from Miami, Florida. This guy has dominated this season and done so well whether it's qualifying or whether it's racing or especially the finishes. And with over 4 wins this season, but right behind him, we've got a guy that has been kind of the quiet but silent but deadly kind of mentality in racing. He hasn't been causing a lot of dust-ups, hasn't been involved in a lot of them. He's just been consistent when he's raced, and he is right up front, not allowing Ryan Bean to get too far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they both shown speed and pace in practice, and it's kind of rolling over here to the race. Ryan's able to get out just a little bit on him from what he was, 10 or 15 laps ago. So it goes to show there that maybe Ryan was saving a little bit, and now he's up to, a little 1.2 second lead over Harold. So we'll have to see. And Rusty here in third is just counting laps, man. I mean, third place finish doesn't look like he necessarily has anything for those guys up front, but just running his race and just trying to bring it home third.
Hey, that'd be a great points night for him. And right now, he's one of only 3 guys on the lead lap. He's about a third of a lap behind the front 2, but clear skies ahead of him. He just needs to get in that rhythm you talk about so much, David, and just go in and hit his marks. Right behind him, we've got Kevin Dowd, first car a lap down in the 98. One of the co-owners of Potter County Diggers, our league premier sponsor. Check them out on YouTube. They have a very interesting channel where they go to historical sites and all over northeast Pennsylvania and digging up articles using medical detectors, unearthing some historical facts, some rare coins, some Indian artifacts. Very, very cool, very intriguing. It's one of those sites that you can go to and you get stuck in a rabbit hole and you don't even realize you've been watching it for 2 hours and you're on your 7th video because they just unearthed some really cool stuff. So go check them out at Potter County Diggers on YouTube. And right behind him, though, Casey Kuntz, another car that has had a struggle tonight from Gallatin, PA, has done a fair job, though, of just maintaining what he's got. Gotten a couple little dust-ups early, David, but, man, you deal the cards that you're dealt, right? You just deal with them, and you have to just roll on. You can either just throw it in and say, I'm done for the night, or you can get out there and just click the laps off. And top 5 finish for some of the troubles he's been in, not too bad.
Oh, not at all, not at all. Like I said, just, some nights are not your night, and you just got to get out there, and that's probably one of the hardest things to do is click laps, knowing you're like, I'm not competitive, I'm just here, I'm just track packing essentially, but, come out with the top 5 for points is great. And 6 is Andrew Little. Just now recently went 2 laps down, and I mean you can see the front of that car. He was caught up in an earlier incident, then had an incident with Harold Rothery getting loose in front of him, and he's just one of those ones. Another one just clicking off laps, just here to have fun and hoping he can, maybe somebody else in front of him has a little more bad luck than he does, and he can gain a spot or 2.
Yeah. And as we go back up to the front, you see it's the all Ryan Bean show in that Dale Lives black and orange car. And it looks like he has gained a little bit of distance between second place, Harold Watkins there, the Big League Chew car. I think Harold may have been listening to you and was hoping a caution would come out a little sooner. But I think he was out there trying to get up as much track position as he could, and maybe burned up his stuff just a little too early, but still he's got a great lead over third place there at Rusty Modesty. Rusty's biggest fear that he's going to have to deal with only 26 laps to go is where's Ryan Bean and can he get to him? Let's go take a look at the Goodyear blimp cam, and let's go take a look at Rusty as he goes wide into 3 there, and I think his right side tires may be getting a little cooked too. Right behind him, a third of the lap back, 1 turn away is our leader, Ryan Bean. And let's throw up the last lap times by, and let's take a look at how everybody is running according to lap times. Oh, yeah. Everybody's running in the 18s in the top 7. You've got an 18:26, if I'm looking at that correct, and an 18:49 by Harold Watkins, 18:55 by Modesty. Casey Kuntz in the 18s, all the way down to Adrian Little in the 18s. So, you know, running those lap times consistent, hopefully that shouldn't be too much trouble, and Rusty can finish on the lead lap. But do you think there's any more cautions that could come out?
There's always a chance, but it looks like these guys are pretty much spaced out. Everybody's running their own race. Nobody's right on top of each other. So we could just having a driver error. Just honestly, that's how all the cautions have happened so far tonight. It's just been driver error, just stepping over that boundary just a little bit. So chances are always there, but the way it's looking now, not too likely.
Yeah, and Ryan Bean's going to hit some lap traffic. He's got 3 cars ahead of him. 2 of them are cars that are in between him and Rusty Modesty, as you see right there in the camera angle. Rusty Modesty is there. Right behind him is Casey Kuntz, Kevin Dowd, and then Ryan Bean getting around Kevin Dowd there. So now there's just 1 car between 3rd place Rusty and our leader Ryan Bean. And you mentioned it earlier that it's drivers just overstepping the boundaries. Words cannot describe how easy it is to do in these cars, David. Yeah,
I mean, like you said, it's just one of those things that if they're so twitchy and so on edge sometimes that any little thing can just put it over that line.
Yeah, and these guys they're getting used to this track now. They've understood what they have. They know what their car is capable of doing. So they're just going through and hitting their marks. Like you said, they're in that consistent rhythm that you want to be in. But at the same token, it makes it very difficult to push the car any further and to get it out there. So, as we come to 17 laps to go, it feels like we just started this race, David.
Yeah, I mean, it's this little 17, 18 and second lap times, and they just go by in a hurry. But back to your point of, pushing it, they know what they've got, and they know if they overstep that line, it's gone. So, why just everybody's running in their comfort zone here. As we see Ryan Bean here in the shot running down up on the back of Casey Kuntz, who's run up on Rusty Modesty here.
Yep, he's got it right there. There's a little 3-car battle. That car in between the green and white and the orange and black is a lap down. That is your leader in the black and orange, putting 3rd place a lap down right now. So as of right now, Ryan Bean has lapped the entire field with the exception of 1 car, which is Harold Watkins, which is only 3.8 seconds behind him. So that's pretty impressive that 2 drivers have been able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, Harold had a little bit of bad luck on the initial start, but then was able to keep pace there with Ryan on this last within reason, and now he's still only 4 seconds back. But compared to what it's been some weeks, that's a feat in itself to stay with Ryan.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, he has dominated all season long at all the tracks we go to. There's very few races we have seen him in this season that he has not won or been a huge contender to win.
Oh yeah, for sure. Week in, week out, these guys know who their competition is, and it's good to see Harold and Rusty up there running good. But Ryan just out front, and you always got to bank on the bad luck. Sometimes Ryan's been hot here as of late. I think he had that one race. I can't remember exactly where it was, but where him and Will got together and ended up. But more times than not, Ryan's been out front, or at least in the top 2, week in and week out.
Yeah, and he's done a great job of just being consistent, and it's not easy to do that week in and week out. We've raced personally with Ryan Bean and several other leagues, and I remember a year ago where Ryan was back there in the field with me, the backpack guys, but he has progressed so much in his racecraft over the last year, and it doesn't matter what he's driving. He has done a phenomenal job of working the tracks, working the strategies, doing it all, and phenomenal driver.
Yeah, I really believe these open setups play in his hand a lot too. I know the guys here in this league appreciate him because he'll share info, and he's been one to go out there and dominate, but also wants the competition as well. You know, nobody really likes to go out there and just run away from the field. So he's more than willing to help, you know, guys say, hey, here's do this with the setup, or here's my thoughts on it to try to, you know, improve everybody league wide.
Yeah, as you see right there, that is the distance between Ryan Bean and Harold Watkins. About a third of a track there. Got about a 5-second gap between first and second place. As we're coming to 6 laps to go, it's like these guys are about to be over with in no time. This is crazy that we're about to conclude on this race in 125 laps, David.
Yeah, I mean, you know, these guys keeping it clean. They had a couple dust ups that triggered a caution, but you know, for most of these guys, just running clean and running consistent and clicking laps off like it's nothing.
Yeah, let's take a quick look before this thing is over with. Yeah, we have gone pretty much 61 laps the whole back half of this race. We have gone under green flag conditions, so these guys have had to manage their equipment and manage their car. We've got Ryan Bean right here. Next time by, he'll get the popsicle sticks. It'll be 2 laps to go here from Concord Motorsports Park in the U.S. Legends Open Series.
Flagman's got 2 up in the air, and he goes off into 1. And, you know, barring the right front or mechanical failure, running out of gas, nobody's going to touch him.
No, I think he's got this in the bag. But I'm going to tell you what's impressed me a lot tonight is this man right here, Harold Watkins, in that Big League Chew 22, has done a phenomenal job tonight. As we are on our white flag, that means the next time by, this thing is going to be over with. You'll see he comes down through the corner into turn 3 right there. And nobody had anything tonight for the Ryan Bean show here at Concord Motorsports Park. And Harold Watkins gets second place secured. Rusty Modesty coming home in third. Wow, what a race. And man, was that a fast one.
Yeah, these guys ran it in no time, and it was just good to see these guys have that long green flag run at the end. And you can definitely tell the setups and the tire wear and management showed up there big time.
Well, it's, you know, you got a little bit of everything tonight. You got short runs, you got long runs, you got, you know, some driver error, you got some people caught in the wrong place at the wrong time like Andrew Little. You had a little bit of everything tonight at the U.S. Legends Open Series, but there's something that nobody had and was anything for Ryan Bean. As you see league owner Rusty Modesty come in there and say great job. I guess that's how they do it here. He is burning it down. Well, before we get to interview our podium finishers tonight, we need to go pay some bills, folks. We didn't even get to play but one commercial. Good for y'all, but bad for us because they're going to be sending us an email after it's over with. So let's go pay some bills, folks. We'll be back with your podium finishers here at Evolution Racing Network.
I started Folds of Honor above my garage 13 years ago because 90% of spouses and children of killed or disabled U.S. service members receive no federal education assistance. Our mission has never wavered. We honor their sacrifices by educating their legacy.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thanks to you, I will be a construction engineer,
an elementary school teacher.
Thank you for helping me fulfill my dream of going to med school.
We're able to award these scholarships because patriots like you refuse to turn your back on the cost of freedom. Join the Folds of Honor Squadron today. Your $13 a month will help ensure we never turn military families away. This is your call to duty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thanks to people like you, I know my dad is not forgotten.
All right, welcome back, folks, to the U.S. Legends Open Series here live on Evolution Racing Network. We have had an awesome race tonight. You just witnessed 125 laps by these guys at the U.S. Legends Open Series. but it flew by. But we and David were just talking during the commercial of how unique it was that we got a little bit of everything. Short runs, long green flag runs, little driver error, drivers stuck in the wrong place at the wrong time. But we've got our podium finishers here tonight, and David has Rusty Modesty, our third place finisher right now.
Hey, Rusty, it's David and Ryan up in the ERN booth. You got me?
Hey, guys, how are you?
Oh, doing good, man. Well, you brought her home third tonight.
Yeah.
One lap
Finally.
down, but finally got a podium shot to show out of it. So give us your thoughts on the night.
Dude, that was hard. As the laps progressed, as we got on, it was more loose. I think everyone was fighting for their lives out there today.
Yeah, you could definitely tell. You guys coming off of 1, coming off of 3, they were just hanging it out there some laps. We watched you a couple times get way wide trying to save it.
Yeah, you just have to chase it up, hope no one's there.
Like I said, brought her home third. You had some speed out there. You were able to consistently stay there, but just don't look like you had anything for the front two.
No, even in practice, there's no way I could touch the times that they were getting. So I was just trying to hold on to the tires the best I could. But I think they even outperformed me in that one too. So Ryan did fantastic. I mean, just lapping the field. So hats off,
Well, Rusty, it's good to see you get a good finish out of here tonight. You've been have some issues here few weeks in a row, and so it's nice to finally have you up here talking to you. Before we let you get out of here, anybody you want to say thank you to, give any shout outs or anything?
Yeah, man. Thanks to ERN, you guys up here putting on a great broadcast. Guys love watching it. Thanks for all the guys showing up week in and week out, putting up with my mistakes. I don't know if you guys know, this is the first week. We're over halfway through this season. This was the first week I got qualifying right. So, so they're putting up with my mistakes as we progress. But thanks to everyone involved, and hope everyone's having fun.
Well, Rusty, it's good to talk to you, and hopefully get to talk to you next week up here.
Yeah, sounds good, guys. Thank you.
All right. That's your third place finisher, Rusty Modesty, the league owner. Doing a great job getting him a podium finish tonight. Very humble about it. I think he understands the talent that he's got in this league. And to get a podium finish in the U.S. Legends Series, David, I would be happy with that. Just like Rusty was there. There's some tough competition. And so these guys are doing a great job to get up there and finish second or third behind, a Ryan Bean or a Will Brinkley kind of deal. So let's see. I think I've got Harold Watkins on the horn here. Hey, Harold, this is Ryan and David up in the ERN booth. You got a copy?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, brother? Well, long time no talk to. Glad we finally get to talk to you up here in the booth for a podium finish. Man, we thought you had it in the bag. You were all over Ryan's bumper when you guys came on that, started that last long green flag run, but just fell off just a little bit, but you never let him get too far out of sight. What was it that was keeping you from getting around him, or did you just not have enough grip in the tires? Tell us about your race tonight, man.
Yeah, I felt like I was really good short, medium runs, and then got into the long runs and couldn't quite get it figured out. He was pulling me pretty hard in coming out of 2 and coming out of 4, and that's pretty much where he had me, and couldn't keep up with him otherwise on the long runs.
Well, we actually went on board with you there for a couple of laps and watching your cockpit camera where you were making up significant ground on corner entry. You were going a lot lower line on corner entry, and it's like you would get within a car length from him, and then he would take off on the straightaway, and then you guys would just do that yo-yo effect for lap after lap after lap, and then it looked like maybe your tires just faded a little bit that kept you from doing it. But hey, when a race goes 62, 63 laps under green and the leader laps the entire field except for you, that's a pretty big accomplishment.
Yeah, thank you. Felt good. I think you're probably right. I was probably just throwing it in a little too shallow and burning off a little bit too much tire, and that's probably why I started pulling me. But yeah, I mean, he was really good, really consistent all night, and just it was a little bit sketchy on some points. You get a bump out of 2, and then you get a little bump kind of going into turn 3, and I was trying to kind of back off because I kept hitting it on line I was running. couldn't quite figure out a good line to not hit it, but otherwise, felt pretty good.
Well, we've watched you all week, and we've called you silent but deadly out there all season. We've watched you go through and just be very consistent. You stayed out a lot of the trouble that a lot of the other drivers have been in. You've had consistent, clicked off some great finishes throughout, doing a great job in the points. So great job tonight overall. We all just sat there in amazement, just thinking that nobody was going to have anything for Ryan Bean, but you showed a little different. So great job on your second place finish tonight. I hope we get to talk to you in Victory Lane one of these races before the season's over. So look forward to next week. But before we let you go, man, anybody you want to give any shout outs to, any sponsor plugs, any thank yous, the mic is yours.
Yeah, just shout out to my family for, allowing me to race on Monday nights, and shout out to Rusty for a really fun league. These cars are really fun, and I feel like it's made me a better driver. Shout out to Nolan. He really helps me in practice, and shout out to you guys for a great broadcast. It's always really fun to watch back.
Well, we appreciate that, brother. It was really fun watching you guys race tonight. And speaking of Nolan, man, what a tough break. It looked like during practice he had a car that was going to contend tonight, and just got a little loose and overcorrected and hit the wall early. But I know he was sitting in there pulling for you. So great job on the teamwork tonight. And hopefully we'll get to talk to you next week, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Well, there's your second place finisher, Harold Watkins. David, I think you might have the man of the hour, actually the man of the season, on the horn here.
Hey, Ryan. It's Ryan and David up at ERM booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. What's up?
Well, it's kind of becoming a trend here these last few weeks. You dominating, you getting out front and just walking away from it. Tonight was no different.
Yeah, I obviously, I had a feeling we were going to be really good once Nolan crashed out, but I think this was going to be Nolan's race to lose. He was fast all throughout practice, and Harold was quick too. He was telling me he didn't know much about the long run, but that's all I knew. Again, I think I told you guys a couple weeks ago, I don't care about qualifying. I don't care about the short run. I want a long run car in these. I think I showed that today. It was a pretty damn good setup.
Yeah, that last run there, I think it was 60 plus laps. So you were able to really showcase it there on that run at the end, and just give us a little bit of feedback on tonight.
Yeah, it was a small crowd again. It's a holiday weekend, so it's kind of expected, but it was still a good show. Everybody was kind of figuring it out. It's a 3-turn track, so it's completely different than anything we've done, but it's a little bit like Pocono. Every turn's different. With the setup, you got to pretty much set up for whichever turn you want to be good in, and I did it with turn 3. I think everybody else was trying to figure out turn 1, but overall, I think if we did that race again, it would be a lot tighter, because it took everybody a long time to figure it out, including me. But either way, I think it was a good show.
Well, like you said before, it's become kind of a consistent deal here. I think this is win number 5 now on the season for you. Probably, 8 races in, so I think 7 top 2s. If you're not winning it, you're finishing second. You had the one bad week, but you're just putting on these boys. How much are you helping these guys out during the week, during practice? I know every now and then you mention you might, throw them a bone here or two, but how much are you really helping them?
A couple weeks ago, I was giving everybody the setup, and then, everybody went and started to get a little quicker than me, and I obviously didn't like that. But, I help anybody that asks for it. If I hear somebody going, God, I can't turn, it's too tight. I'm like, oh, hey, I'll show you my setup. Here you go. Have fun. But, if they ask, I'll gladly help. 'Cause, at the end of the day, this isn't, a money league or anything. We're all here to have fun, and then having fun is being fast for those people. I'll gladly help them.
Well, that's good to hear, Ryan. Another win tonight. Where are we off to next week, Ryan? Off the top of your head, put you on the spot.
Nope, you're good. Yeah, I was literally just looking at it. These guys head to a Charlotte Legends road course.
Oh, Lord, there's another Ryan specialty. So with that one, what's your thoughts on that one?
I unfortunately will not be here for the next 2 races, so I haven't told. Yeah, I haven't told him yet.
I'm pretty sure I heard a league sigh of relief there.
Yeah. I'll probably be here adminning, but I'll be out of town, so I'll have a laptop. I'll be able to at least help out. But yeah, I won't be racing. Unfortunately, I got some other work stuff popping up. So hopefully these boys can figure something out while I'm out.
Maybe I'll get together and try to get a massive joint effort against you for the back half of the season.
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot of challenges when I come back. I'm missing my favorite track. I think USA is after next week. Yeah, and man, that's my favorite track on this service. But it's all right. I see we got one more road course after the Legends road course. So hopefully I'll still be road course king.
Well, before we let you get out of here and go celebrate this win, anybody you want to say thank you to or give a shout out to?
Yeah, the obvious, everybody. Rusty putting on this great show. Everybody showing up. It was fun. I wasn't really looking forward to this track because I don't like Pocono in real life. It grew on me at the end there, so it was fun. You guys up in the booth, y'all are the best. And yeah, that's all I got. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you, Ryan. Well, there you have it, Ryan. That's our winner for probably 2 or 3 weeks in a row now. And like I said, I think I heard a league sigh of relief that when he mentioned he was going to be gone for the next 2 weeks.
That's huge because these guys can make up a lot of ground on them because we can kind of go, let's go take a quick look, see if I can, coming in to tonight, Ryan Bean had a 34-point lead over Will Brinkley, Bob Fitzpatrick Sr., and Kevin Zabladell. Well, tonight, you didn't have second, third, or fourth in the points, and you won't have Ryan Bean for the next 2 weeks. So a guy like Rusty Modesty that's tied for fourth with Kevin Zab can make up a lot of ground. 30, 40 points per race. He could essentially get right there to Ryan Bean or potentially get ahead of him. Any of these guys could. So we could see a big shakeup in the points over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, a couple of good finishes for those guys in, third, fourth, fifth, sixth area. I mean, possible pulling out a win, then, they're right in this hunt.
That's right. Well, let's take a look at your final results here as we just got through hearing from our winner tonight, Ryan Bean in the 28 car. Second, Harold Watkins in the Big League 222. Great job for a podium finish for him. The only other car on the lead lap. League owner Rusty Modesty in the 6 car rounds out your top 3. Casey Kuntz battling back after some early troubles in the 31 for a top 4. And our 5th place finisher tonight, Kevin Dowd in the 98.
Finishing 6th was Dick Little in the 68. You've seen a couple incidents there, so it was nice to see him battle back and at least pull out a top 6 finish. Harold Rothery took it to the garage early, finishing 7th. Had one incident coming out of 4 and a couple other incidents. Michael Martino finishing 8th in the 75. Also took it pit side halfway through the race. Nolan Potter, we watched it here on the ERN broadcast live, going off into one, got a little loose, and then that right turn into the wall pretty much ended his night, but he was able to bring home 9th. And then Chad B. Singer did not start, will be credited with a 10th place finish.
And that is your finishing grid tonight. And folks, I cannot close out our broadcast tonight if I don't pay tribute for the reason that we celebrate this day. Labor Day is a day that we remember. It symbolizes, the end of a summer for a lot of people, but really we need to remember those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice, our American military, both veterans, active members. A lot of things that, we celebrate on Memorial Day, 4th of July. Labor Day is one of those weekends that you see a lot of American flags up. We want to send our condolences for the 13 Marines that we recently tragically lost over in Afghanistan, and we wouldn't be doing our country any patriotism if we didn't send our condolences to their families and to all the members of the armed services that pay the ultimate sacrifice, and for those that are out there still protecting our freedoms day in and day out. So everybody here at Evolution Racing Network is very thankful to have those people out there doing the jobs that we don't. So thank you to all of our American military there, all the branches, and all the people that are active, and those that are veterans as well. So, David, any final thoughts before we close this thing out here?
No, I mean, just same story, different week. Seeing Ryan out there, we need to start. We may have to start interviewing him first, so he don't have to wait around so long for us. But it'll be nice to see these next 2 weeks. Let these guys have a chance, and maybe get some different names, different faces up front, and come away with some podium finishes these next 2 weeks while he can't make it.
Yeah, and who knows, might actually, get a different. We saw Will. I wonder if Will's going to be back over the next 2 weeks. I think you're going to see a big shuffle in the points over the next few weeks, because we are only a few races. I mean, it seems like we just started, but we've only got 5 races left in this season. We got our road course at Charlotte next week, USA Speedway, Langley Speedway, and then we go on the final road course of Summit Point, and then we end the season at Oxford Plains. So going to be a great final 5 weeks as we conclude this season, but man, we look forward to it. So make sure, if you like what you saw tonight, to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, a follow on our Facebook page and YouTube, Evolution Racing Network. And for myself and David and everybody here at Evolution Racing Network, we want to say thank you. Have a great week, and we look forward to seeing y'all next week.
Later, guys.